In IPL 2020 so far, we have seen some bowlers taking a massive hammering. So this take is about the hammering. If you recall, Jack Nicholson did a famous Stanley Kubrick film called The Shining, which had horror connotations. Similarly, when you talk about the hammering, which some bowlers are taking and will continue to take, it totally guts the bowler, it devastates the mind. You see some sad pictures of bowlers actually breaking down later after the match, and it surely has a massive adverse psychological impact. Let's talk about various things associated with the IPL so far and the conditions also, which are very, very disadvantageous to the bowler. First is the heat. Trent Bolt basically says that coming in from New Zealand, where minimum or rather maximum temperatures are 7 to 9 at the moment, he has to contend with temperatures of 45 degrees plus, and that applies to each and every bowler. The heat is tremendous, it's energy sapping heat, and it does take a toll on the bowler. They cramp up. The sweat conditions are so much there is a problem gripping the ball, particularly for the spinners, and we've seen that happening. Let's move on to something slightly different, which talks about the aspects associated with the IPL. That comes from none other than the great Michael Holding. Whenever Holding makes a point, it's very interesting to listen to him and observe. I'll share a couple of quick pointers with you about what he said. He says, despite being a great bowler himself, that cricket is largely a batsman's sport. So going back in time, you remember a Don Bradman, a Neil Harvey or a Graham Pollock, and when you compare that with a Ray Lindwall, Freddie Truman or Wesley Hall, who are the people who are more remembered in time? It is a Don Bradman, it is a Neil Harvey and a Pollock. So that is something that one has to contend with. Slightly later, if you talk about Sunil Gavaskar or G.R. Vishwanath, their names are more important than quite a few of the other bowlers, and as time has evolved, the batsman has become more and more prominent in this game of cricket. In a June 2010 interview to the Telegraph, Holding described the 20-over game as nothing but entertainment. He says, fine, we all need entertainment in our lives, but the problem is T20 is taking over. So Holding has a problem with that. And Holding lamented, I cannot support it. T20 will destroy the game I love. Where are the youngsters going to come from to play Test cricket? They can't develop into Test players if they play T20. He also told the Jamaica Observer, when you can earn $800,000 for playing 6 weeks in the IPL, why waste 6 years trying to play Test cricket? What are you going to get out of it? He also spoke about the bat width, and this has come from different quarters, that with time they have limited the width of the bat, but they have not limited the depth. So basically what it means is that even if a batsman is miscuing, but the person has adequate strength, the ball goes very long distances, and we've seen that happening repeatedly. So there used to be a sweet spot on the bat years ago, Holding says. Now there is no sweet spot, there is a sweet bat. Once you get a piece of bat on the ball, it disappears, and you can see that happening on television repeatedly. Even when in slow motion, when the bat twists in the batsman's hand, even then the ball can go for a 4 or a 6 with ease, and that is so unfair to the bowler. It has nothing to do with technique, it has nothing to do with anything else. It is like power hitting, and like Ricky Ponting himself, a great batsman of his time, said, that it's like baseball, where you have the massive strength, say, of a Andre Russell, of a Chris Gale, and the way these people, or a Kieron Pollard, and the way they hit, it's heartbreaking for a bowler. And if you're supporting the bowling team and they're being torn to shreds, it is truly, truly heartbreaking, and you know, your heart sinks watching that. The unfairness of it all is obviously there. Shane Warne suggested that fielding restrictions should be jettisoned to give a slightly level playing field for the fielders and for the bowler, because he says it is time to deregulate one-day cricket. No restrictions with the field, none. Place the fielders any way you want. This will create so many options, and the attacking captains and teams will win. The only law should be that no bowler can bowl more than 10 overs in a ODI. So he's talking about the ODI and about the fielding restrictions and about how the whole thing can be positioned. The bowling restrictions of T20 in a move once more designed to favour the batting team. Individual bowlers are only allowed to bowl for a total of 4 overs during a team. Now what happens here is that if one of the bowlers is in form, he can only bowl 4 overs, not more than that. And this IPL 2020 is very significant in that sense that there is a lot of There has been a lull. We all know that. There has been no cricket over the last 6 months. So the only some of the players who are coming in from England who are match tested, they do have an advantage, and the captains prefer to have them on the field because the others are still trying to feel their way around. Talking about dubious records, Mujibur Rahman holds a dubious record of the most expensive spell by a foreign bowler in the history of the IPL. The Afghanistan spinner conceded 66 runs in his 4 overs while playing for Kings 11 Punjab against Sunrisers in 2019, which is the last season. 66 runs in 4 overs. Ashok Dinda, he conceded 63 in 4 while playing for the Pune Warriors against Mumbai Indians in 2013. Varun Aaron is the other bowler who the Jharkhand pacer conceded 63 runs in his 4 overs while playing for Delhi Capitals, then called Delhi Daredevils, against CSK in 2012. Sandeep Sharma, Punjab medium pacer, conceded 65 and 4 playing for Kings 11 Punjab against Sunrisers in 2014. Massive hammering these guys took. Umesh Yadav, a frontline test bowler, a fast bowler who can hold his own any day, went for 65 in 4 while playing for Delhi Capitals against RCB in 2013. So this game doesn't spare anyone. Ishan Sharma, again our premier fast bowler, he conceded 66 runs in 4 overs while playing for SRH against CSK in 2013. Basil Thampi, similarly, the Kerala speedster, conceded 70 runs. 70 runs is huge in his 4 overs while playing for SRH against RCB in 2018. A quick look at what is happening now and what is happening to the bowlers, and these are frightening stats. Mohit Sharma in 4 overs went for 45 in a match. Then Ngidi, 56 runs in 4 overs. 56 runs in 4 overs. Ravindra Jadeja, 40 in 4. Chawla was brutally hammered, as we saw recently. He conceded almost 30 runs in 1 single over. 55 runs in 4 overs. Then Pat Cummins, 49 in 3. Umesh Yadav, 48 in 4. Jasprit Bumrah, 43 in 4. Ravindra Jadeja, 42 in 4. And Chris Jordan, 56 in 4 overs. So it just shows that unless certain steps are taken to ease the pressure on these bowlers, it will cease to be a game where bowlers have any kind of say. Forget about playing conditions or pitch conditions or any other conditions. The way, first of all, the restriction kills the bowler. Second is, if you're not match fit, as we are seeing in this IPL, then you don't have a chance. Third is the way the power hitting has come into the IPL. And in the shorter format, it's killing the bowlers. It's time someone spare a thought for the bowlers.